Hello, don't forget to do calendar and handwriting before you start your activities today. Okay everyone, welcome to day 6 of math. We are going to start with our math journal. So we're going to start by making our T-chart. Our number focus today is going to be 78. So you're going to ask your child what the number 78 would look like. What would it start with? So that would be a 7 and an 8. Just encourage them to do the very best that they can. Now we are going to move into place value for 78. So we are going to find, okay, how many tens are in the number 78? This is the 10 side, right? You can always divide your numbers up and put tens and ones. So on the 10 side, we have a 7. This is what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 7 tens, because 7 is in the tens place. How many ones do we have? If you said 8 ones, that is correct. So you're going to count out 8 ones. And that's these guys right here. Remember that you can use resources from home if you need to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is what the number 78 looks like in place value blocks. So I'm going to give you some time to draw that. I'm also going to give you some time to discuss that with your child. So there are 7 tens and 8 ones in the number 78. Know that you can pause the video anytime that you need to. Okay, so the number 78 has 7 tens and 8 ones. Okay, after you finish writing your place value, so that's 7 tens and 8 ones, you are going to spell out the number 78. So that's going to start with an S. Since I'm writing with a marker, I'm writing a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. So that does take up a little bit more room. but try to encourage your child to fit it inside the box. I'm going to give you some time to write that. We are going to do another fraction, and I want you to tell me what you think this fraction is. So it's the same from another day that we have done. So the first thing you're going to ask is how many pieces do we have in our circle? We have 1, 2. So 2 would go on the bottom because that is the full amount that we have. And then how many do we have shaded in? 1 shaded in. Good job. So our fraction is going to be 1/2. For this, since we've already done this one, you can also assess by doing this. You can shade in this side of the circle as well. Just make sure you emphasize that there is a line between there. And you can ask your child, okay, how many pieces do we have? And they would say 2. So you would have 2 on the bottom still. And then you would ask how many are shaded in. And they would say 2 because you shaded in 2. So when you shade in the 2 pieces, all you have to do is look at this and go, okay, we shaded in the whole circle. So whenever you shade in the whole circle, that equals a whole. So that is just 1. That is 1 whole. Okay, we are going to move on to the bottom. I've had some suggestions to do a subtraction problem. So I'm going to do 6 minus 2. For a subtraction problem, you want to emphasize on taking away. So you're not combining the numbers together, you're taking away from that bigger number over here. So you're going to draw only the amount that is over here, so that's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can do this with manipulatives as well. So if you wanted to count out buttons, Skittles, M&Ms, money, whatever you have, you can use that as well. And I'll show you how to do that in a second. So once again, this is 6 minus 2. You are going to mark out how many? 2. You're taking away that next number. So we're going to mark out 1, 2. And they look and they see what's left over. So what's left over is 1, 2, 3, 4. They can write 4. Or you can do a little problem with them and say, okay, if I've got 6 blocks, 5, 6. So if I've got 6 blocks, and I count those out right here, and you take away 2 of those blocks, how many blocks do I have left? And they would count how many blocks they have left, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is it for this math journal today. Moving on to our next math journal for day 6, we are going to draw a line in the middle, just so. We are going to do the number 7 today. You're going to write 7 up at the top. Let's go ahead and spell out the number 7 together. S-E-V-E-N. 7. Remember, we spell out our numbers because those numbers can be spelled out in our word problems. We are going to show what the number 7 looks like. You can use manipulatives if you would like. I'm going to show you with dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to give you a minute to write that. Okay, so on the bottom of this one, we're going to do a writing numbers assessment. So I'm going to tell you to write a number, and you are going to write that number. I will give you time to do that. I'm only going to do 3 numbers. My first number is 2. Please write the number 2 on the bottom right here. So the number 2 looks like this. Moving on to the next number, please write the number 10. Ten looks like this. Please write the number 17. And you can talk about how the 7 is the same as the 7 right here. It just has a 1 in front of it. 17 is in the teens. You can pause the video and give yourself time to write all of this. Thank you so much for joining me today for our math journals for day 6.